Over the last 3 years, we have seen Saudi Arabia prison scholars unjustly without reason. They haven't given any explanations, as far as I'm aware. Often the scholars have spoken against corruption in the country, which is self-explanatory in terms of you can work it out why that might lead them to prison. Now we have news. Saudi scholar and academic Dr. Qasim al-Qathardi has passed away in prison cell at Sha'ar prison in Asir. According to Saudi prisoners of conscience group, he fell a few days ago in prison cell and lost consciousness. He was not treated properly and continued to suffer until he died. Sheikh Qasim al-Qathardi was a professor of the Holy Quran and its sciences at the King's Khalid University in Abaha and the president of the Tartil Quran Memorization Association. He was arrested by the Saudi authorities on July 8, 2021 for attending a symposium held in 2013 at the home of Dr. Awad al-Qarni and possession of 2 publicly available books, so that there may be no discord by Ghazi al-Qusaybi and the Existentialism, a book taught in Saudi universities. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison, followed by an 8-year travel ban based on vague charges of supporting extreme ideology and disturbing public order, charges he vehemently denied during his trial. And it's noteworthy to say he had things that were publicly available. So if they were so extreme and bad and he should have had them, then why were they publicly available? That's something that is not surprising. And again, not only do we see scholars in prison, which I've mentioned, not only am I mentioning scholars who have been released, I've also mentioned scholars who've been in prison multiple times, and now we have a scholar who's passed away in prison. And this is the state of Saudi Arabia. They rather imprison scholars instead of accept that a lot of what they're doing is unacceptable according to Islam. It has 2 of the 3 holiest mosques in Islam in the country, so many holy sites. It's where Islam and the revelation given to the Prophet ﷺ, and revelation and the migration and all these other events happened over there. And this is what Islam came to remove so many things which they are now bringing back into the country. And instead of accepting the advice from the scholars, because they realize deep down what they're doing is wrong, and they know it's wrong, and they are guilty, and they feel guilty, but instead of accepting it, they silence the scholars so they can just continue doing it without anyone saying anything to them. And now we have news. And I mean, there may be others that I haven't covered because I have been doing this since 2020. There might have been others previously, there might have been others since I've started doing videos but I'm not aware of, and there might be ones where nobody knows because it hasn't been reported. But unfortunately, not only are we seeing scholars in prison without a reason in terms of they're unfairly in prison, but they also now pass away in prison without them actually deserving to be in there in the first place.